probably because you've been doing too many things that were kind of against you. Like maybe you haven't been true to yourself. Maybe you haven't lived your life based on your values, or maybe
The posting and hoping method to get booked as an online personal trainer is basically like practicing 10,000 kicks once instead of one kick, 10,000 times. At Broken Fitness, we've mastered the art of one kick, and it's the reason we've been able to scale our business to over 5,000 personal training clients since 2010. Here's what I mean. The traditional approach of online personal training.
you haven't had a clarity around your values, it often happens something like that. So don't, be so hard on yourself because of that. You're just finding out what truly matters to you and how to kind of organize yourself the way that your life makes more meaning to yourself, and how to turn towards what is the most valuable to yourself. So this is the first sign that many times people experience, and often it leads us into the second one, which is a loss of this deep sense of joy and loss of a sense of passion. People start to feel less driven to do certain things because we need to put ourselves into a path of self-research once again to notice, okay, where we've lost ourselves, what happened. Maybe you've been through a certain breakup or through any kind of a fallingness. Maybe you felt like your life started falling apart and you had no idea what to do, but you were still kind of living your life normally. You started noticing your body's feeling tired, but you were still pushing yourself until you started to sense this disconnection, and then eventually loss of joy, loss of passion. You had no feelings of joy for anything you've been doing before. It's a sign that you're going through a reset, a very important phase to get yourself back into a path of alignment. So often it leads us into the third sign, which is constant worry. You start to feel this persistent concern, a sense of anxiety for anything, and you don't know what's going on. Like nothing just makes any sense. Like you just feel anxious for no reasons. You feel worried for no reasons. It means that your vibrational frequency falling down towards really these low emotions of survival. And when this happens, it means that our battery is really running out, and that's when soul takes care of kind of its own will, and it pulls you away from your daily, let's say, habits, and it says to you, hey, wake up, because how you're living is not helpful for any of us. It's not helpful for us, it's not helpful for people around you. You're just not taking care of yourself. So a constant worry and anxiety is often a sign that your soul is going through a reset. And it leads us to the fourth sign, which is emotional outbursts and tension. You start to feel this emotional outburst. Something within you is boiling and you're just being irritated. You're displaying heightened emotional responses, and you're like a bomb that is about to explode. So when this happens to you, and many of you may be feeling this way, it means that you are a valuable being here. You're a valuable part of the human family, but you've forgotten about your value. You've forgotten about how unique you are. You've forgotten about your own gifts, what you could contribute, what you could give. You've forgotten, or maybe nobody showed you that. So don't be too hard on yourself in this phase. There's just a lot of, let's say, boiling energy that needs to go out, but at the same time you need to recharge yourself. So this is the phase where you need to become very, very gentle with yourself and set boundaries in your life. Like if you're feeling this, set boundaries in your life and kind of disappear from your circles and reevaluate what you've been doing, what you're doing, like how you're living your life. Because this is very important phase where your soul is reminding you, hey, you've forgotten about what you've been so joyful as a kid, what you've been so passionate as a kid, what you've been so curious and enthusiastic as a kid. Now, because of all your responsibilities, you've forgotten about this. So just refocus once again on what matters to you, so you can recharge your soul, recharge your batteries. So often when we don't do anything about it, it only leads us to the next sign, which kind of manifests as lack of feeling, lack of emotion, lack of sensing anything. Like suddenly you just don't feel anything anymore. Like you don't feel any joy for anything, you don't feel any passion for anything. You don't even know if you feel sad or if you feel happy or if you feel okay or whatever. No, this is again just a part of the process. You're going through a phase where you're just finding yourself once again. Often when people get in this phase, through synchronistic events, they come across certain spiritual teachings, certain spiritual traditions, or certain spiritual books that give them answers they couldn't find anywhere else. And often it most probably happened to you something similar. Like many people right now on the planet Earth are going through a spiritual awakening. Most probably because they've come to this sign where they've recognized, okay, my soul is resetting and I really need to start living a new life. I want to start living my old life and I want to start living my new life, which will be supported with more joy, and I will be doing more of what I value and what I want to do. So I want to be like my own boss in my life. And it only happens because at some point we've drained ourselves to such a degree that then we had no sense for anything. Like everything kind of became nonsense, right? So when you feel like that, know that it's just a byproduct because you've exhausted yourself. You've exhausted yourself, and it led you to what we will use as the sixth sign, is the sleep disturbance and restlessness. Nothing can, it feels like it doesn't matter how much you sleep, nothing can recharge you. It's again a part of the process. It's again a sign that your soul is going through a reset, and it is taking you away from the path you've been walking because it was not the path that was really healthy and fulfilling to you. And you need to reset yourself so you can kind of recalibrate yourself to the path that is more meaningful, that is more purposeful, that is more joyful for you. So when you're experiencing, like, out of everything we've been talking about, this sleep disturbance and restlessness, know that it's all because you've exhausted yourself. It's all because you've been through all these signs that you've been ignoring about yourself. Maybe because you've hoped that it will just be okay, that everything will be okay, like always. Well, at some point your body says no to you, and you need to then pay the price for ignoring yourself. So when this happens, a great remedy is to start certain before bed routines, start certain affirmations before bed, start maybe reflecting, have a gratitude journal, start meditating, start doing certain yoga and certain practices that put you into a more peaceful state before bed. So you start giving a sign to your body that you're ready for a change, that you're ready to start a new life. And when you wake up, start some morning practices, like some morning movement, some morning affirmations, some morning yoga, a workout, whatever resonates with you. Be gentle with yourself, but also be kind of strict with yourself, so you don't be lazy. Also, yeah, feel lazy when you need to. It's completely okay. But start a life that really speaks to you, that really resonates with you. And sleep as much as you need. When we exhaust ourselves, when we're tired from our own lives because we've been living lives that were boring and that were completely out of our control and that were completely out, like lacking joy, lacking passion, lacking enthusiasm. Of course your body's tired. So reset, recharge, sleep as much as you need. And especially if you've been sleeping too little, you need to, make sure that you get enough amount of rest. So be kind towards yourself. Your body needs that. And often it leads us to the seventh sign that will show to you that your soul is going through a reset. It manifests as a lot of physical stress, of course, because our body may be restless. You may feel more stress. A lot of, many things may bother you. So make sure that this stress will not be a burden for others. Sometimes it will be, but it's important to set boundaries and, if possible, put yourself onto a certain retreat. Like start doing massage therapies, start doing some saunas, take yourself on a vacation, do something for yourself, love yourself. When stress from your body shows that it's just being under pressure for too long, and you need to give some honor to your body, you need to give some appreciation to your body, show to your body that you love yourself, that you appreciate yourself, that you really want the best for yourself. And if that is true, then also do it, right? Give that to yourself. Many people experience burnouts and they experience constant physical stress from anything. Like they just meet a person and it irritates them. It's a sign that your soul is going through a reset and you will need to change something drastically in your life. If that's happening to you, my friend, well, look at it as an opportunity for a breakthrough. Like you're ready for something new. It's not, it's not something dark or negative. It's just a wake-up call from the universe. Look, you deserve so much more. So look at it as something incredible. Like, I'm ready for so much more. So many people wake up because they have jobs they hate, they have people around them that don't notice their worth, and they see it as something like to wake up from. Like, I have enough of this, and they wake up and they change their lives, they move to new places, they change their relationships, they start everything fresh, and suddenly they start to feel refreshed, right? They start to feel like a new person. So do something for yourself that you will be grateful for in the future, like your future self will be proud of today. No, there is already a future self that is calling you into this kind of a change. And because your soul is aware of that, your soul is aware that you can manifest yourself into being whoever you want, it is going through a reset to remind you, hey, you can live much better life than you're living right now. So often, because people ignore that, they get to the point, which we'll use as the eighth sign, where they start neglecting themselves. They start neglecting themselves, their self-care. They start neglecting their emotions, their feelings, their mindset, their values. They start neglecting all of that, and it only leads them deeper into misery and depression. So it's a sign that your soul is calling you to do a reset, to start caring for yourself, to start noticing that you are valuable. But of course, many people here may say, well, nothing makes any sense. Yeah, of course, nothing makes any sense. How you've been living, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me, but I know I was there as well. I know how it feels like when you just don't want to wake up from your bed. You don't want to do anything for yourself. You feel like your life is falling apart. Well, there's a law in this universe which says as soon as you will start doing something you like to do, you will get more energy to do what you like to do. As soon as you start doing something you're joyful about, you will get more energy to be joyful about. To give you one example, sometimes I feel like I don't want to paint. Like I feel lazy and I don't want to paint. But as soon as I sit behind the canvas, I start to feel inspired to paint. When I start painting, I almost can't stop. So it's this law. You only get energy for what you will use it when you start showing up as you're willing to use that energy. You will not get energy if you don't know how to use it, right? Coffee sometimes does this. Like you get energy, and sometimes if you don't know how to use it, you may get anxious because of coffee. But if you know how to use this fuel that you got from the coffee or any other substance, it will just feel like a flow. So make sure that you start taking care of yourself, right? And it leads us to the ninth sign that you're going through a reset. Your soul is going through a reset, which is social withdrawal. You kind of withdraw yourself from social activities. You really feel called to be alone, to spend more time alone, to really be with yourself and notice what you value, notice what you like to do. This is a very important phase. This is a phase where many people experience an incredible spiritual awakening. They recognize for my whole life I've been someone who I don't want to be. I've been a certain persona that is really not me. I've been wearing a mask that I really want to put on, and I want to really become who I came here to be. So they start to understand once again their incredible qualities, their incredible strengths, their incredible uniqueness, authenticity that before they were not aware of. Why? Because they were too distracted. So stop distracting yourself and start taking time for yourself, right? Ask yourself at this point what you really like to do, like what makes you happy. Really, what makes you happy? Like to me, being in nature, being on my bike, painting, sharing my experiences, deep thinking, writing my thoughts down, meditating, spending time with people I love, having deep conversations, working on my business. Those are things that really make me happy. Every time I will be doing something from this list, I will be happy. I will be connected with who I am, and I will be expressing myself the way I truly want to be expressed. So this is just an example why you go into the phase of solitude, so you discover yourself. I've been through this phase. I know how it is, but it was a blessing in my life. Because of this phase, I've started painting. Because of this phase, I've started making these videos that helped millions of people. So know that your solitude phase is a blessing. Use it like that. And it leads us to the 10th sign that you're going through a reset. Your soul is going through a reset, which is often experienced as a loss of faith and loss of hope. You don't have any faith and any optimistic perspective about your future. Obviously, because of exhaustion from your old life, because of tiredness, because of too many limiting beliefs from your environment, from your social circles, from any kind of culture you came from, or whatever happened in your life, you have a loss of faith. And of course, your soul is a being of faith. It's a being of light. It's just the opposite of how you've been programmed to be. So it made you to reset yourself. Like it said to yourself, let's go through a reset, because obviously your outlook on life is not helpful for us. Like we've come here to evolve, we've come here to pave a way, we've come here to grow, we've come here to have an adventure. Like let's have an adventure. You've come here to really experience the most out of life, to be expressed and to experience, to experiment. That's why you've come here. And you have a loss of faith because you've been programmed in an unhelpful way. And it's time for you to recognize, well, all these programs can change because you're not done. Like when you use a computer is not the programs that are in. You can delete and install new programs. It's same with you. You're the essence. Don't forget that you're an authentic essence, the fingerprint of God. And you've come here to make programs for yourself that serve you, that make you happy, that make you excited, that make you joyful and blissful. So when you're experiencing lack of faith, lack of optimism, lack of any, positive outlook for the future, you're going through a reset, and eventually you will actually recognize that this phase is only here to wake you up, to recognize that actually there's so much to look forward to. At this point, if you're at this point, I want to remind you that firstly it's all part of the journey, but design a vision for your future. And most probably also at this point you will start through synchronicities, meeting right books, right people, right videos. Maybe this video is just this calling for you, that there is something right there to look up for. In Japanese, there's a word kensho, which kinda means like a moment of enlightenment that happens after a process of falling, where you begin to recognize that all this falling was only happening so you would discover a deeper essence of what life is all about. So you've been falling for some time now, only to recognize that you've been living a life that was not fulfilling to yourself, and you deserve much more, and you're here to experience much more. So all this process was only leading you to growth, and you were not growing before. So it's time for you to start growing. And to start growing, you need knowledge, right? You need new information. That's why at this point you may feel drawn into incredible new books and videos and information and whatever. And new knowledge will lead you into transformation. Like start letting go of the old stuff, of the old beliefs, of the old ideas, and embody this new one and practice them and turn them into action and see where it will take you. This is a wonderful process that will lead you into an incredible new growth, something your soul is really making you do right now, because it already knows all possible futures for you, and it only wants the best one for you. So that's why you needed to go through all these signs we've been talking today about. So I hope you found great value in today's video, and of course for this video I have...
With Root Insurance, it's easy to save because your driving is the #1 factor in your rating.
Second and goal. Are they going to push her in? They're lined up to do that. Yep. In there. Touchdown. Here we go. The push, the touchdown.
What happened? Are they going to fix that? No, it's not playing. Why aren't they fixing it right now? I love that they're all just staring at it like it's going to fix itself. Otherwise, what do you think? Think it'll go back the other way or no? That was a good ass catch, though. Hell, you ain't gonna see my catch. Hell, I need you to walk your way. I need you to walk. I got something. I'm my boy. I'm going to cut you down. Okay, walk your way. Run! You didn't invite me to your wedding. I'm mad at you. Why you not invite me to your wedding? Here's Sanu from the gun now. Muhammad going to the right, turns it upfield, and Sanu drives it. Did he get it in? No, just short, but it's first and goal. I caught a lace. That was bad. Wait, did you see my ass fall? I was about to call all sides on you. Yo, look how long that got. You got some hard in there. Y'all probably went back in the office was like, hey, how y'all do? Oh, we killed him. Oh, we killed him. No, y'all didn't. No, y'all didn't. No, y'all didn't. No, y'all didn't. No, yes. Little boy. Little boy, are you... So what they say in New York is you dumb? So you really think y'all... Is you dumb? So y'all won today yesterday. Man, when we get done with 91, he gonna need an asthma pump, a gas mask, all that. We're not just gonna... Hey, it's not gonna let him get up in. This is really close out there, I'm sure. I know you ain't, but they is. First off, you're not about to get no inside the training with me. Hey, how are you, Mitch? Andrew, nice to see you today. Golly, good afternoon, good morning, and good night. Wait, what?
What the fuck?
throw? You ain't no threat.
Damn it, that's horseshit. If we get a press to you, get your fucking ass outside and get it contained. Okay? I told you this fucking quarterback runs. Keep him in the fucking pocket. You got me? You better quit bullshitting around. I'm not having this bullshit. Better get your minds right, or I'll get it right for you.
Yeah, that's what we be wanting to hear. They bleep all that shit out, bro.
Pat, you choreograph that for next week. All right. Why don't you know who Little Run is? You're a backup quarterback as well. You should know fellow backup quarterbacks. It's like a fraternity.
90-yard touchdown! 90-yard touchdown!
I see what I'm saying. You see what I'm talking about? Stay humble, bro. Stay humble, bro. Yeah, but don't do that by my ear. Don't do it by my ear. Don't do it by my ear. No. Hey, 1-7. I heard that trap to the game. 17, just keep talking. I'm sorry. You alright? I'm sorry. Did I hurt you? No, yeah, you kind of strong. I don't quit. I will apologize to you. You good? You stay beside me. You stay beside me. You good. Look at me, baby. Hey, 36. I ain't never seen you before, huh? Better go tell the coach you need some help. We gonna expose you, boy. Alright, we coming at your ass. Savage, looking, fires deep right side, and the pass is intercepted. LaShawn Sims. LaShawn Sims. What a catch. Nice hit, big man. Hey, nice hit, buddy. Oh, nice hit, man. Good hit, big boy. I'm usually like a generally not a nice guy anyway, though, so it's... Nah, I take that back. I'm a good sport.
New drop straight back for the crossing route. McCaffrey. Touchdown. That's big time.
What's up? You know what you do, huh? Yeah, watch.
Second down at 19. McCoy gets the snap, throws downfield, intercepted, dumps. Pushing with the helmet off, and he'll go to the sideline.
Looks like he's bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, he's bleeding a lot.
You got to pay for this plastic surgery, Bill. You know how this happened. I laid the guard out. I laid it out.
Right. That's going to keep it at the 21, 25, 30 to the 35 here first down. Picks it up with his legs.
See that speed? Who's chasing me? That's just speed right there. I was just cruising, too. I was cruising. I was like in third gear. Hey, I've been eating that Whole Foods. I've been slimming down, man. Getting my wheels right. Hey, Pinky, you shrink. You're shrinking with old age. You're getting smaller, man. It's the fashion. How old are you? What, you about 13 out here? Oh, well, you got baby, man. What? How old are you? How old are you? 36. Man, boy. Going on 12.
Nah.
He's 12 years old out here, man. Look at him. He got his permit yet. He can't even drive home. They got to get it over.
35. First look is left. Newton comes back to the right. Steve Smith hauls it in. Gets crunched at the 38, but hangs on to the football.
All dude does is talk. I was in Denver. Me and Pete Marsh always used to go out and throw balls. In Carolina, me and Beer out there throwing. He's like running like through our routes and stuff, warming up. And we're like, man, we're just trying to get some work done before the game. He's like, this is my field. And we're like what?
Pass is spun out of bounds by Antonio Brown.
Yeah, no, you got that single foot down.
I got both of them.
It ain't built like it.
I tried it. The ruling on the field is a catch. You know I'm talking to you. You know I'm
know it's loud, but bear with me. I have to inform you of this now. The download that I received was that we need to shift our way of receiving fear. Think about it. A lot of times when we experience fear, it's out of a sense of protection, right? Whether that's a fear of actual physical danger, whether that's a fear of being abandoned, a fear of like not having enough, not being enough, whatever kind of mental or physical fear that it is, it's out of protection, right? So the slight tweak in perspective that we can have is that fear is there as a form of self-love. You're spending all this time because of experiencing these uncomfortable emotions of like, man, I just want to love myself, I just want to feel better, I just want to do better. But when you take the time to actually acknowledge these feelings, you can say to yourself, man, I love me so much that my body and my mind has it as an absolute priority by triggering this anxiety, these uncomfortable feelings to let me know that there is something threatening me. And if you can look at it as your body and your mind just trying to love more on you, you can see that this whole time you have actually been practicing self-love. And so now you can say to yourself, oh, thank you for loving me. I love you too. And when you start to say that to yourself, you're doing two things. You're validating the emotion and not suppressing them. And two, you're giving yourself that love, that same unconditional love that we like to think of something as like God or the universe or whatever it is that's giving that to you. You're giving it to yourself. You see, the systems and the programs that we're raised in teach us that how we naturally function is flawed in some way, which is why we have to strive to achieve, which is why a lot of us feel like we are inherently not enough. The more you can teach yourself that you are perfect just as you are, even in those emotions where you feel uncomfortable or where you've been taught that feeling, I don't know, feeling shame is a bad thing, you can look at those emotions and see the unconditional love, perfection, all of that. That's so loud, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you can see the perfection and all of it. That's when you create that space within yourself to breathe and realize that you're big enough for all of these emotions, because remember, growth is inclusive and never exclusive. It's all about integration and expanding to hold more things within yourself.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and save big during the March Spring Sale. Get 35% off paints and stains, with sale prices starting at $28.92.
We're living in the golden age of athlete-generated content. People are leaning into receiving their content in a different way. If I want to hear about basketball, I want to hear it from Shaquille O'Neal, not respectfully, not Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I do it big, big, big. I'm coming to win. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big, big, big. I'm coming to win. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big. What is up? What is good? Another edition of the Big Podcast. This one is special. It is dropping on Shaq's 52nd birthday. Big fella, I love you with all of my heart. Happy birthday. It is not just me. I have a few friends that want to wish you happy birthday.
Hey Shaq, it's your girl Kiki, and yes, I do love you. Happy birthday to you. Sending you all the love in the world, and I know you're gonna have an amazing day because you're an amazing person. You deserve it. Keep being the icon we all know and love you.
What's the for if you dress like an adult and didn't wear pajamas on the podcast today? You're no problem. So what you said though to him in that message was you're a regular man now.
Yeah.
What people like me don't understand, will never understand, is athletes have two lives.
No,
Life as an athlete where your whole life you are Shaquille O'Neal basketball player, and then suddenly
you're wrong.
regular man.
You're wrong. We have one life. When we play, we're programmed. So for us, wake up at 8, get on the highway,
practice at 10, 11. Practice 2-3 hours. Come home.
Food.
I never did all that. All that's fake. So after practice, rest of the day to yourself. Business, party, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Game day. Wake up at 8. Shoot around at 10. Come back, take a nap. Leave at 5. Go to the game. Travel day. Night before. Get your clothes. Look at your schedule. 5, 6 games. Outfits. Boom. This party. This. So doing that. So now when you retire, all that stops. So unless you have other business. It's like when I left the game, it was a year too early because I had a 2-year deal with Boston. So I had a career-ending injury. So I didn't have things set up yet. So for 6 months, I was just at the house not doing anything. And I would like wake up and be like, damn, I ain't got nowhere to go. And then I would do stuff I've never done. I'd go outside and be like, is this the paper?
Yeah.
Is that my neighbor? Crowfoot. Croy, what's up, my boy? What you doing today? Oh, shit, we're taking the boat out. Oh, damn, I don't have a boat. Kenny, give me a boat. So now I'm on the lake just looking at people. They're like, Kenny, you got some rides? Man, we ain't never fished before. Go to sports or get like I was just doing stuff I never did.
What was the first executive business thing that you did after you retired?
So the first thing I did was I came home because I had to make a decision. Okay, you got 1 year left. Do you honor that? I want to pass it Will Chamberlain so I can say I'm the most dominant big man ever. But damn, you're not Shaq anymore. You're playing with guys, 3 guys that are ahead of you. You're averaging single digits. People, you don't want to go out like that. Let me think about it. And I think about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to retire. And then I invited all the TV stations because the finals were in Miami.
We're going to tap into Shaq's big business brain. This is from one of our favorite ads, ZipRecruiter. They're great. What was the first business that Shaq started after retiring from the NBA?
The first business I started after retiring from the NBA? Shaq doesn't really start businesses. Shaq is the master of joint ventures. Like I always give this example. I want to do a podcast. Do I go get some cameras? Call some people? No. Who's the hottest producer? Shane, what's up? What's the network I can do with Playmakers? Joint venture, boom, bam, bam. Because it's all about delegation with me. Like, you know, my brain is not focused enough. Well, it can be, but it's not focused enough for me to handle all the intricacies by myself. The first business I had was a shoe company, Shaq brand, but I know nothing about shoes. So what do? I do a JV with the Reebok. You know everything about shoes and all the things that I need to know. My emblem goes here. This is the price point. This is where I want them. How much am I getting? What are my royalty fees? You know, like that. So that's how I've never really started a business from scratch. I've always did joint ventures because it's easier. And then the only thing you have to worry about is what's on the piece of paper, rather than worrying about shoe factories in China, where they get the material from, and who's working there. Make sure they ain't got no party. Like, I don't want no parts of that. Well, I get with a company that's already doing that, and boom, bam. And I learned that from the dummies guy who's starting your own business. They talk about, you know, sole proprietorship, joint ventureship. They talk about the different forms of business. I was like, how can I play basketball but still do all this stuff?
So it all comes down to the right people. And where can you find the right people?
ZipRecruiter, baby. In the game of basketball, winning teams are made up of the right players doing what they do best. The same applies if you're running a business. To be successful, you need the right people in the right positions. That's why I count on ZipRecruiter to help me hire. They are a game changer. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds people with all the right skills and experience for all your roles, so you get qualified candidates fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. You don't believe me? You don't believe Adam? See for yourself. Go to this exclusive web address and try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/BIG. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/BIG. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Were you going to sign with ESPN at all? Was that like a chance?
No, it wasn't a chance. So I wasn't thinking about TV because remember, I still had a year left on my deal.
Gotcha.
So luckily the finals were in Miami, and I was going to go down there, but my father was very ill at the time, so I put out a nice invitation was at my house. And then ESPN came, Skipper came and said, hey, we want to talk to you. Then Tara and TNT came and said, I wanted to talk to you. And I told my agent, I said, see what they're talking about. And I looked at the number and I was like,
To talk on TV.
yeah, I was like, I have a job.
Yeah.
But I'm professional. I don't like to pit people against each other. You know, I realized ESPN is very, very corporate. I had ADHD, ADDD.
You do.
Probably wouldn't work up there. TNT is a little bit more loose. I said I'm gonna go with TNT. And plus, it was in Atlanta.
Yes.
I'm familiar with the city. Been living here 30 years. I wasn't comfortable with going to Connecticut.
All right, we now have a segment sponsored by the General, the #1 place where if you ever get any form of insurance, you're going to feel like a better person. You're going to be happier. And remember, Shaq has the General.
It's time to
Oh my
sweat.
fucking god.
Link Fitness is now open. Over 15,000 square feet of
Fucking ad block
men
work.
butt.
SEC legend. However, did you guys ever beat LSU?
Did we?
No, you did.
Flawless in Auburn.
Yeah, I don't think they lost the game. No.
You sure about that?
I think so. I would.
Who'd you play against when you was in college?
One of the best defenses that LSU actually had.
No, give me a name.
They had Marcus Claiborne.
Oh, yeah.
They had a young Honey Badger, Peterson. Strong D-line, linebacker core.
I got a question. I'm a hat guy.
Yes, sir.
You the only cat I've seen rock hats like that. Where the hell you get them from?
That's my hat line.
CamNewtonHats.com?
No, Mashika, Meshika.
So you wouldn't mind if I rock some of those hats?
Man, I would just need your size. You give me your size, and I'll send them.
You're older than TNT.
Shahuka.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in 2024. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and more. Plus over 55 weekly add-ons. You have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options. Forget frantic lunch preps and rush dinners. Factor's 2-minute meals are your secret weapon this year. Fuel up fast with restaurant quality meals, all delivered right to your door. So skip the overpriced takeout trap. Factor's cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant quality meals delivered right to your door. They're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Factor also has cold-pressed juices, smoothies, energy bites, extra protein, veggie sides, and more to keep you energized during frantic times. So head to factormeals.com/BigFactor50 and use code BigFactor50 to get 50% off. That's code BigFactor50 at factormeals.com/BigFactor50 to get 50% off. So how you been, brother? Everything good?
Everything good, man. Everything good. I have to say this. You know what I'm saying? This dude more plugged than Barack Obama. Not a lot of people have a presence, so it's like, Shaq was here. Yeah, he's here right now. And then like you can't see him or touch him. It's like, bro, me. Like, no. You gotta go through this person, then go through that person, then you gotta go through that person. But yeah, man, he's a person for you. I want to give you your flowers that give guys like me hope. Like the authenticity that you bring, the measure of just staying organic to who you are, bro. Being in movies, whether movies or making music and still dominating at a high level, bro. Like, thank you for empowering me to be me.
I appreciate that. And it's probably like our 6th or 7th time meeting.
Yes, sir.
You've already been very hospitable to me. We know mutual people, and they all say you're a nice guy. I want to ask you this question. Why, when I look at clips of you at your little football camps, kids feel they can talk to you any type of way?
It's access. Access. Like when you, and just to give you context, right? So anybody who knows me know I'm a product of my environment. Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. What what you saw was those are grown men. Those were kids. So that narrative was familiar coaching, you know, and it got chipped. For me, that's not the first time that happens, and honestly, knowing my world, that probably won't be the last. I think, looking back at it, yeah, people see like, yeah, Cam standing on business, yeah, Cam had bobby pins in his head. You know, those are all funny things, but when I look at it, it's like, it could have got ugly on both sides. Because I'm the type of person, when I feel triggered, I react. It's not, come on, Shaq, let's go get him. Come on, let's go. I'm not that person. You say something to me, and I go. I don't think, and that's the issue. And that's where my whole support was kind of caught off guard. Because we were talking, something was said, and then it was like, hey, where are you going? I'm going to use the restroom. So then, but that's just how I rock and roll, you know what I'm saying? But I just have to be better, and I want to use this as an example for athletes, entertainers, people of influence, guys like your son, because they know the Shadurs of the world, the Brownies of the world, you know what I'm saying, is high, like a target to people where you just want to chill out with your friends. You want to be at In-N-Out Burger, you want to go to Chick-fil-A, you want to just go to a hookah lounge, you just want to hang out. Somebody gonna say something triggering to you, and it just takes one time, and ugly because I could be in jail. Somebody filing a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? They could have, you know, been prepared to be in Atlanta.
Next to a gate. What happens if someone goes over that gate?
I tell you.
You were even talking about just like clips of kids in the past.
Yeah, I saw one where some kid was just, y'all was just going back and forth. You never said to yourself, kids, you're not going to disrespect me, get out of my camp. I'm going to show you how to respect a person like me, get out of my camp. I mean, because I had that happen to me one time. The kid was turning breeze. I was like, my man, you got to get out. I paid my money. Okay, you got to get out. Like, you just, it's a pecking order thing. Like, you can't legend in this game. So if I'm a kid, I'm like this when you're talking. Especially if I'm a black kid who want to be quarterback. I'm like this, but, you know, like you said, we product of our environment. We used to going back and forth, but you don't talk to a Cam like that. You don't talk to a Shaq like that at his camp. Like, have you ever said, hey, kid, get out?
No, I say it like this, I never started, I always finish it. You know what I'm saying? And I got my president here, I got, you know, head of digital here. Like, I joke with them all the time. You know, I will always tell them, like, I got my PhD in talking. I grew up with a very masculine house where brothers and cousins and playing basketball, playing football, like you just go around, you know, and using talking as a tactic. You know, I can talk it in the church, I can talk it in the streets or whatever. But for kids, we're living in a time where instead of seeing a Shaq and saying, "Oh my God, this Shaq," we see these kids now say, "Oh, that's Shaq. I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna go viral for it." You see what I'm saying?
Shit, lame.
And that's just where we are. And it's not that that's an issue. Bless you. It's not that it's an issue. It's more or less like I just gotta go down to their level to bring them up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, bro, because there's been many times that somebody tried me, and when I match their energy, then they play the victim.
I
Yep.
saw that one too.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, nah, bro, like, I give you what you want.
Exactly.
I just recently seen
Mirroring your energy.
That's all I'm trying to do. I don't start it, I just finish it. I just recently seen something with Kevin Durant. I don't know what was said about the
There
fan.
was a white guy and a white lady. She
Son of a
walked in,
bitch.
they called him the B-word, which is like the ultimate insult in basketball.
Yeah.
And then when he turned around, they were like, "Oh no, we got a podcast." And I was
yeah.
like, "Get them."
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Access. People take it for granted.
Yeah. And even to that point, you know, it was more familiarity than people gave it. You know, these are people who I knew. They was a part of my program at one particular point. They start their own. and it was what it was, and it's hard for me to believe. It just comes off as disingenuous of banter going back and forth, but it's like I don't mention it, and everybody gets the same can. It's not like it's just Shaq and oh my God. It's like no, everybody gonna get the same version of me. You feel me? So
I wanted to say thank you because I can tell you old school. The other side doing interviews and tweeting and talking about it, you haven't said one word, so I appreciate you. Let's ask some questions and you giving us your own answer. I appreciate that. So we're gonna get off that subject.
yeah, but I think it's needed, because I mean I'm a vessel, man. That I don't want to be the person. It's easy for us to say I need to go back to the I'm straight, I'm good. But the reality of it all is when I was coming up in Atlanta, there was nobody that I could touch. There was nobody that I could talk to. Nothing. Michael Vick was at his height when I was in middle school. And if Michael Vick would have came to College Park, I'm talking about when Michael Vick was doing air train commercials in the Southwest.
Michael Vick experience.
Like that. Man, I spent my last book fair money to get a poster, and I didn't eat for a week. I was stealing food just to buy a Michael Vick poster. But I say all that to say, it's like I know what I mean to my community, and no matter where I go, I can't stop, and I can't get discouraged because something don't go my way. For that one issue that people see go viral, I got hundreds of positivity things that I done done, and people I've impacted, rent that I've paid, things that I've given away that will always remain anonymous to the degree because I don't do it for the likes. I don't do it for it's just, man, my purpose on earth is just to give back.
I always wondered how did Cam Newton never play for the Falcons? I've always wondered that.
Arthur knew how to get in contact with me. He just haven't.
Is that man being from here and playing for that team?
Yeah.
I just always thought Atlanta Falcons could be like the NFL Mecca. All the players want to be here in the off season.
Sure.
Atlanta's a great city. The stadium's great. I never understood it.
Yeah.
Do you miss it? You miss playing?
I was having this conversation with my girl the other day, and I will always miss it. And I think I gotta be real. I think the thing that I miss, like competitive sports, was an outlet. And I say this respectfully, of like rage, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like you can do that in sports, you know what I'm saying? When you in here in Shahoma,
Right.
that's gonna start a fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, but on a court or on a field, that's just like, don't off me. The f is wrong with you, little boy? You know what I mean? Like that is just in real world. Like you don't have these outlets to talk to somebody. So yeah, I play tennis now. You know, I go to my son's basketball games and I love it. But those raging outlets you don't have, and that anxiety of like, yo, I gotta get myself in that. This the last go round until like I really gotta switch in, 5 a.m. workouts. It's like eating meal prep. Like, no, bro, like everybody holding you accountable. Like, hey, bro, they saying that they better than you. Like, those things you miss. But it's always been something that I've always was prepared for this day being away from the game. I don't think I gave myself enough credit to accept not having that feeling. You're down, going through that tunnel, and not only that, as you know, it's just a camaraderie, locker room. You got that one player on your team that he may not be good on the court or on the field, but you just love being around. He gonna have the tea, he gonna have the green tea, the chamomile, saying? He just knows how to get everybody, you know what I'm saying, going. And after a big win, you know, that team playing, going home, you know what I'm saying, like those link ups from family, the Thanksgivings, the birthday trips, the off seasons, and Lincoln, you miss that. So, yeah, I mean,
I didn't miss it because the Shaq that people remember was 35, 15, and 9. When I started getting older, like when I was playing Boston, I was averaging single digits. It just didn't feel right. I feel like I was cheating the system. All that other stuff you missed, I definitely missed that. But when I started getting older and would have to before I could get a dunk, it just wasn't the same.
Pump fake,
So,
right?
yeah, it was a pump fake. Oh, pause.
yeah.
Mine don't look like that. Mine just.
But too, like I know exactly how you feel, and that's really why I don't even want to go back though. I do, but I don't. I do because if it's a great opportunity, and I'm at peace with myself because I gave football everything. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to see Newton on multiple jerseys. I didn't even want to see Newton on the Patriots jersey, to be honest with you. I just would have thought that they would have did me better. But it's like, nah, I got something to prove. Right? Love that whole experience. You know, Bill Belichick is legend. And I downplayed his presence. I downplayed, you know, Patriot Day. That was just an experience that I still hold dear and true to my world of business, let alone anything else. That Patriot organization is ran like a fine oil business. Everybody's on the same page. It's all about winning. Whatever you need. Do you need gold upholsteries? Is it going to help us win? Get 10 of them. Smoke a cigar? Is that going to help you win?
Yeah.
Get 20.
So did Bill understand, because your personality always popped when you played. The Superman in the end zone, all that stuff. But everyone assumes the Patriots stripped that away from you. It seemed like that motivated you. Did they embrace the, okay, we need you to be you. We need you to let it all out?
Yeah. It was one practice in particular. Bill pulled me aside and was like, yo, I want you to be Cam. I said, that means, you know, let it go, all right? Just be you. It's okay. We brought you here to be you. And this is a person who coached Lawrence Taylor. This is a person who coached Randy Moss, Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski. All these are big personalities. These ain't no yes sir coach. Like, these are people obviously that has to be respected by not only the players but the coaches. Right? Their whole thought process is different. And he allowed his players to be them. And that's what I appreciated the most.
So when you look in college and in the NFL, not so much NFL, but who's the next Cam Newton?
Don't do that.
I'm gonna do it because people always do it to me.
Sure.
And I respect you as a legend for how you played and what you did. Like people have different definitions of legends, but where we come from, you definitely a legend. So
Yeah.
I know you don't want me to ask you, but I'm gonna ask you. Who's the next Cam Newton? CJ Stroud?
We play different.
So that's basically there's no one like you.
Like we got so many similarities because it's like, you know, hack a Shaq. Like, I go back and I said, man, it was penalties that I never got. Never.
I was going to ask you, like, what is the downside of being down? The blowback of being big? Where, like, I feel like you both were like, oh, they can hang.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
It's like, come on. Like, there was a rule, or there still is the rule, I don't know if they changed it or not, it's discretionary to the referee.
Whether or not it's
whether it's you know what I'm saying, it's one of those situations that it's like, bro, that's a foul. I don't care if it's 32, 34, 24, 8, 23, 9, 10 other players get the same thing, but one of them don't get that foul.
How do you guys not get upset about that?
You say you don't.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
I was trying to win. I was trying to shut people up. You know, especially when I first got to LA, we kept getting swept. And you know how it is when you don't win. People start to say, "Oh, he's great, but is he really great?" So I'm like, you know what? Let me suck it up and just let me get one. But then after I got one, I said, "Oh, you can't get two." And then you still talking. Then after I get two, you can't get three. And after you get three, I get traded. You can't get four. Then after you get four, then the A's start getting it. See, I told you. Check it. He ain't Superman no more. The other cats, like, it just, you know, for guys like us, it's just not that in it. But I think it motivated us to, you know, be who we are. Definitely motivated me. If you think you're slick, I answer my question for the next game. Thought I forgot about that question.
No, but I got a question for you though. Nah, but I don't think that it is. And you know, even for coaches, even let's take the Patriot experience. There are still times where I was like, yo, y'all gotta let me be. I feel comfortable with the ball in my hands. Some guys need that. Bruh, give me the ball. I feel comfortable, whether running or putting it in my hands. I'm not the quarterback that hands off for first down, hands off for second down. Now I gotta throw on third down. No, I'm the quarterback that runs on first down, runs on second down, and can throw or run again on third down. That's how I stay engaged in the game. That's like Pop Warner. It's like one of those players. It's like, give it to Cam. Give it to him again. Give it to him to the left side. They ain't gonna never think this one coming. We're gonna give it to him on the right side. It's like I was that player. So it never changed when I got to the next level or the next level. And that's how I just felt like I was just involved in the game. And if I didn't have the ball in my hand, and I allowed other players to get involved, that kind of distanced me from that. But I would say Josh Allen. You know, and Lamar is just in the class of his own. I mean, I put Lamar and Vic kind of in that same type of realm. But other than that, that's probably the only person. I got a question for you though, Sean.
Yes.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. You always do, brother.
It's a two-part. Was it?
Before you go, you sure you don't want to save it for your podcast?
Oh, listen. One thing about me, I do my homework.
Got it. All right, I got you.
Hey, I'll give you this one.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
I'll give you this one.
Let's do it.
I think
The hook's coming with it.
no, like for sure. Like I'm a person who I study my opponent. You know, and that's not in a derogatory way. That's just how I prepare. So for you, two parts. What age, time, team was Shaq personally feeling like can't nobody for me? That's one. And number two, what was your most perfect game?
Let me go to number two first. My most perfect game was the birthday game where I hit 61 points. But it wasn't supposed to be perfect because I don't know if you had a ritual, but I always had a ritual. So my ritual, wake up at 8, go to shoot around at 10, come home 12, sleep from 12 to 4, take the same route, get to the game. But that's my birthday. We in LA, so you already know. I'm playing the Clippers, I'm partying tonight. It's a ritual. I'm out meeting club owners, meeting with drink distributors, I'm setting the party up, so I didn't really get no rest. So I, number 3, they charged me. Like Stigler said with my, when I asked for tickets, I don't want tickets. But they charged me. So now I was already mad about that. Now we losing, everybody looking at me. And my Uncle Jerome was sitting by the bench. He smacked my head. He said, "Oh, you gotta go today." So now playing. And I didn't realize Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was assistant coach. Yeah, I never knew he was over there. So one time I get it, I look back, I'm like, "Oh, that's Kareem," but he got head down. I was like, "What? You ain't gonna look at me, Kareem?" So I shoot a little sky hook and go and crowd go crazy. He put his head down. So then during the timeout, somebody this man even look at me. So then I think it was Michael Alakawande. Kareem was telling him how to stop me. Like, keep doing like that. So I told him, said, "Hey, don't nobody shoot, give me the ball." What Phil Jackson say, give me the ball. So I was, And I just kept going, and my free throws was hitting. I got my little elbow in. I was shooting at the free throws.
Not a little elbow, man.
So that's that. I felt like I was Shaq. Early on in Orlando, I knew I could compete. You know, we had a segment where I said when I first met Jordan, I was terrified. It was like, you know how you talked about that Michael Vick poster? I had the Jordan poster. So when we went to Chicago and I came out and he did a move and it was perfect, I was like, damn. And the crowd was going crazy. So then he come one time and he shoot and I almost blocked him. I was like, oh, it's human. So that kind of calmed down. But I was also terrified of Patrick Ewing. Put your hand out. So we go to the Knicks, no, give me a fist. We go to the Knicks. I'm from Jersey, so we got the whole family there and kind of nervous before the game. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I ain't gonna be scared. So I was like, hey, Mr. Ewing, nice to meet you. Shut the fuck up, rookie, you won't bust it. Now I'm trying to punk me. Nobody. So I looked at like, no way. So when I did pretty good against Patrick, I knew I could play. So then on that, but then I got to LA and we was getting swept and still have doubts. But then when Phil came, he was like, oh, payback, I'm only here because of you. Like, what you mean? Because he said, hey, I'm only here because of you. I know if you do it, tell you we can win. I said, okay, what's the first thing you need to do? You need to stop rapping and doing commercials. I'm like, Phil, the money, dog. He's like, hey, man, if you do that, we'll win. So I always knew I could play and compete, but I knew I was Shaq when I got to LA and when Phil came and solidified it. Because I always tell people, if you get a coach with a great resume, the players will always respect him.
Yeah.
Because I played for a lot of coaches in timeouts down by one. And then, you know, just don't get done. But when I played for it was cool. So when I played for Phil and Pat, I knew that, you know, we had a chance to win.
There are so many correlations between you two. It's wild. Phil and Bill, the stature on the court. This is coming out later, but we are recording this on Leap Day, February 29th. I don't know if you know this. It's supposedly the birthday of Superman, February 29th.
Oh, I know that.
You were Superman, you were Superman.
So why do you like Superman? You want me to go first?
Yes, sir.
So when the movie first came out, first time in the movie theater, I seen it run faster than a train. That's the only thing I remember. In Jersey, I lived by the train yard. So one day the train was coming, and I took off, and then I probably was way ahead of the train. I probably way, but I took off and catch up, and then I just and then I crossed it. I was like, oh, I'm Superman. That's why I like Superman.
All from the train.
All from the train, because he outran the train, I outran the train. And I was since 4 or 5 years old. Why do you like Superman?
It was self-important. I like the dinosaur more so. When I was in college, Auburn, Trooper Taylor, we was playing Kentucky. And rest in peace. He was like, playing the Lakers, we gonna get at Kobe. Cavaliers, getting at LeBron. Auburn Tigers, we gonna get at Can't do it. You were a dinosaur. You would stink. You would never be duplicated. I thought that was no shit. It did. You know, when I got to the league, they just said Superman, because he does a lot. And I was like, well, what about Dwight Howard? What about Shaq?
God, why say that? This interview is going so well.
Now there's me.
No, there's no beef.
No, it's just, you know.
See, that's the thing about media. Like, you gotta give people what they want to hear. So
Did you do that on purpose?
I didn't. I was still telling my story.
He said, right.
I know.
I was still telling my story though.
Yeah, no.
And if you really know Superman, his father name is my middle name, Jarrell. Yeah. So I was like, yo, it was meant to be.
I did love it so much.